How would you define tradition?
Oh, God!
Route 90 blues taking me home. Frigid hands slung over bones. Folks way back east had nothing to say. Living their lives every hour, every day.
I'm driving through Louisiana right now, getting ready for Mardi Gras. I'm from the South originally, and probably proudest tradition of the South, in my opinion, is Mardi Gras. People think of New Orleans usually when they think of Mardi Gras, but we're gonna see a different kind of Mardi Gras, Cajun Mardi Gras. The Cajun community in the South is probably the most unique community, insular even. They speak French. They come from a different history than most of the South, even to Southerners. It's mysterious.
The first thing I want to do down here is meet an expert. I asked around and was told Jordan Thibodeau is the man to talk to. He's a Cajun musician, a Cajun cowboy, and an all-around ambassador for his people. And in my opinion, makes being Cajun look pretty cool. He's agreed to take me out to his part of the bayou and tell me more about Cajun culture and Mardi Gras.
What would I do without Jordan? The alligators would get me. I'd drown.
We gotta put you on grown up.
This is how the real Cajuns put their life jacket on. Like a local.
It's closed right now.
This is so interesting to me. Like, I'm from the South, from Alabama, but even amongst Southerners, Cajuns, Creoles is a different breed.
So this was already a French colony. You had your native peoples who were already here. Then you started having an influx of French people. When I was a kid, everybody spoke French. But now in the 20th century and now the 21st century, we've become the minority in our own areas. So you end up with a lot of these young people that are subscribing to American culture.
So you guys have really been like fighting to hold on to that culture for like a really long time.
Yeah.
How does Mardi Gras play into all this?
The old traditional Mardi Gras, the Correspondent de Mardi Gras, the biggest difference, we don't do parades. We don't have floats. We don't throw beads. We don't do any of that. It's all either on foot or horseback. We're going around house to house. Instead of the community coming out to the street and watching something pass by, you are going into the community.
It's not a spectator event.
It's a participation event.
You're the captain for this.
I'm the captain.
So follow you.
Yeah.
Now, how's this Mardi Gras different?
Some of the small towns had regulations. One very traditional regulation is it could only be men, and it could only be men from the community. Two, only white men from the community. There was all this kind of weird shit going on. And it was like, how about we do something where like, it don't matter if you man, woman, black, white, we don't care, but we're not gonna allow spectators. If you gonna come, you gonna participate. You're gonna be in costume and you're gonna join us. So not only do we have women that run, but a lot of our villains are women. They're in power. That diverges from the historical context, but at the same time, like, to us, it's important.
Now, you have a kid yourself.
Oh, yeah.
How do you want to see the Cajun culture, the French culture, the Mardi Gras culture change in her lifetime? Where are you hoping it can get to?
Just to see that those traditions will be carried on, that the language will be carried on, that my family and my community maintains who we are, I'm happy.
Mardi Gras has been celebrated for a long time in Europe, where many call it Carnival. It's huge in Brazil, the Caribbean, I'm sure most of you already know, New Orleans. The idea is to let loose and party it up without guilt before the 4 days of Lent start, where you gotta act right before Easter. Mardi Gras traditions are as diverse as the communities up and down the South's Gulf Coast, and its traditions have changed a lot over time, reflecting the bigger social shifts throughout the South. Issues like racism, segregation, sexism have historically found their ways into Mardi Gras celebrations, and unfortunately, some still persist in the name of tradition. I'm here to meet some of the people in the Cajun community who want to change that.
We're about to meet a guy that's running one of the most traditional Mardi Gras in the country. And I'm interested to see how history intermingles with that. I mean, we've had problematic history. So when you hear traditional, you wonder, is that mixed in? Or can we take the good parts of our history and the good parts of our tradition and move forward with them? What's up, guys? Joelle, good to meet you. Thanks for having us out.
Yeah.
Got the full family here. I'm Jackson.
Jackson. Mabel.
Mabel.
Hello.
So I grew up right across the field here.
All right.
I mean, this was my grandparents' house where I live now. My name's Joel Savoy. I'm 7 generations here on this property. Do you drink?
Yeah.
Tradition for morning setup.
All right.
Cheers.
What time is it? To 9 a.m.? Gotta get swig, get started early?
Gotta get in the spirit, you know? Can you drive a four-wheeler?
Oh, yeah.
Grab the four-wheeler and meet me over here at that little greenhouse.
Yeah. I guess I'm going to be driving a four-wheeler. Don't tell our security team because I don't think I'm on the insurance. Usually I just work on a laptop at work.
I'm putting you to the test to see what you're capable of.
If you
All
can
right.
do a fence post
seems
and catch
good.
a chicken, maybe?
If you can catch a chicken, that is a thing. I don't think I've ever caught one.
Really?
In Cajun Mardi Gras, people go house to house collecting ingredients for a big gumbo. And the hardest ingredients to get is a live chicken. Catching a chicken is like winning a Cajun gold medal. And my training starts now.
We got all this prep put together. How many people are coming, you think?
Every year, we hover between maybe 600 and 800 people.
Wow.
People come to this same reason we started it. You know, I was in a band called the Red Stick Ramblers in college, and we traveled all around, and we'd be like, y'all come down to Mardi Gras. And then we'd take them to the Mardi Gras celebrations that were happening at that time, and none of them represented anything that I wanted to share with friends from out of town. And so I was like, well, let's just start our own thing and just do it here. We started this, and we kind of just made it what we thought people needed to experience on Mardi Gras Day.
Yeah.
And I think it resonated with a lot of people.
This is what's going to have the gumbo in it here?
Yep,
All
gumbo
right.
and rice. Bon, ça va, JK?
Ça va, Nick?
Comment c'est?
C'est bien?
T'es bien là?
Ouais.
T'as manqué presque tout le travail.
Ouais. Comme une ampule, Nick.
What is different about your Mardi Gras that seems to be magnetic for these people?
Well, I just think that we make a point to be all-inclusive, which not all Mardi Gras events do.
Well, you created this 19 years ago. Now, there's lots more runs, a lot older than that. What made you want to create a new run?
I've done Mardi Gras runs where you don't even see a chicken, and to me, it's all about, you know, you got to have this activity. The idea is the Capitan will go up to the house owner and he'll say, hey, can we come in and dance or beg for some ingredients? And every now and then the farmer will give you a live chicken. He'll throw it up in the air, and the Mardi Gras, I have to go catch it. We're going to keep going through the neighborhood, and at the end of the day, y'all come meet us. We're going to cook all this stuff and make a huge gumbo.
I've had these really interesting interactions with people. If you ask them why women aren't in their runs, they'll say tradition. Tradition is extremely important. And I say, I'm going to Figitayak on Tuesday, and they go, oh, that's the most traditional. They're very traditional.
How would you define tradition?
Exactly. How would you define a tradition?
You know, we're existing in a modern world, and of course, there's new influences and there's things in our lives that determine the way that something else is going to be. Whether it be music, whether it be Mardi Gras, whether it be cooking, we all do the things in the same spirit of our ancestors. We carry on traditions, but we carry them on. They have to change sometimes for whatever reason.
Why is participation so important?
Everybody's here to experience something more than just a party, you know. It's about going and doing this bonding thing all together. But it's important to bring in the next generation. So we've been inviting and like actively seeking out people with families, like, y'all bring them so that they grow up in this tradition. Because once it's something that's totally normal to you, it becomes a way of life.
Mardi Gras season kicks off after New Year's Eve and can go as late as the end of March. So basically, there's weeks of partying throughout the South. Today, I'm going to one of the oldest Mardi Gras runs in Cajun country that we've heard is one of the largest and rowdiest celebrations. I was told I had to be there before the sun comes up or I was going to miss my ride. I had no idea what to expect, so I called up my favorite Mardi Gras expert, John, more famously known as Mr. Weatherall. He's gone viral for covering the wildest moments of Mardi Gras. He's been to every type of parade in Louisiana, even the ones where he's one of the few people of color.
Then all right, meet you.
John.
Yeah. So we're in Church Point.
Yeah.
What should I expect?
Craziness. This is more like country. Anything goes.
We're riding with these guys?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think they're leaving us now. We're on the beer cart.
In Church Point, Louisiana.
Your grandfather started this.
Yeah.
No way. This stuff goes back, huh?
Yeah, it goes 63 years.
What was it like 63 years ago?
I don't know, I'm not that old.
They didn't have a beer wagon back then, I bet.
They did.
They did have a beer wagon 63 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But they told us no girls on the
Right.
floats. What's going on with that?
So it's an all men's ride. It's been like that for 63 years. The women normally waited at a stop. Gets a little out of hand to have women.
Okay.
You know, you mix women and men and drinking and all that, and
You don't got any women that have been trying to get in?
Oh yeah, we'll kick a few off today. Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're on a farm now.
This is one of the stops for the chicken run.
It gets intense.
Very intense.
It's kind of tame right now compared to what we just saw. But
This is like the calm before the storm, basically.
So I'm from Alabama originally.
Okay.
And part of the reason I wanted to come down here is to talk about the stereotypes people have about Mardi Gras in the South in general. What's it like being a person of color at these rural Mardi Gras celebrations?
When I first started coming to like the rural areas, I was kind of uncomfortable. But as I've been doing it for so many years, you know, I've got a chance to like learn more about their traditions. It doesn't bother me. I feel more comfortable, you know, attending now.
What makes it uncomfortable to start with?
Me not knowing, you know, the reason why they had the costume, the way that it looked, that kind of bothered me at first. But once I got a chance to like really learn more about their history and the traditions, I was cool with it. Yeah.
Even myself, you know, being down here, seeing pointy hats.
Yeah.
You know, there's other pointy white hats we've thought about, you know, and I see a lot of white guys wilding out in the woods.
Yeah.
You wonder, you know.
No, I mean, everyone's pretty cool. And a lot of them recognize me, so it makes it more easy for me to like have fun.
Yeah. Do you think it would have worked this way with your grandparents?
Probably not.
Church Point's reputation did not disappoint. While it was one of the craziest parties I've ever been to, it definitely had some good old boy, Old South energy. Women were excluded from the majority of the events, and they take it so seriously that even my producer and camerawoman were barred from filming with me on the float. It was a ton of fun, but I'm curious to see how Joelle's Mardi Gras compares. But first, sleep.
We are on the way to get a costume made for Mardi Gras. It's a huge part of the Cajun Mardi Gras tradition, and I'm really excited to put it on. I feel like you can't not have fun in one of these.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having us over. Very cool. You've been sending me pictures of it.
It's fantastic. I can't wait to see it on you. But I wanted you to have like kind of like a color theme. And then the hat is called a capuchon. That's like the traditional hat for the Cajun Mardi Gras.
What are like the key factors to like, this is the costume? If you're gonna do a Courier de Mardi Gras.
I think it's the fringe, the strips of fabric that are cut. And it's done in many different ways. You know, they would use what they had, like say it was old sheets, bedding, curtains. There are many different ways people do it. You can pretty much put anything together. And through the ages, not even just in South Louisiana, like in Europe, there's been similar stuff. People will fringe things, not necessarily this exact same style. This, I really feel, is particular to the Cajun Mardi Gras, as far as I know.
It's beautiful.
I know! Put it on!
Put it on right now?
Yes,
Right
put it
now?
on
Okay.
right
All right. I feel like doing a jig in the...
Not yet. You're not ready. 1, 2, 3. 1. I'm gonna push you.
Okay.
Very, very nice. I love it.
There's no avoiding the whipping.
I kind of showed your costume to the whippers.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Today is the big day. The moment I've been waiting for. The peak of Mardi Gras season. Fat Tuesday. The last day to get all my sins out. I've learned what I can from the experts. I've got the costume. Now it's time to act the fuck up and party like a real Cajun. And apparently, if I get it wrong, I might get whipped.
It's cold.
Comment ça va, Mardi Gras? If it's your first time, come all the way at the front.
Get on your knees, Mardi Gras! Let's go!
About to get some whiskey. Oh, I'm getting showered with whiskey. Oh, God.
On est sexy pour le Mardi Gras. On est sexy pour le Mardi Gras. On est quelque chose pour le Mardi Gras. On est quelque chose pour le Mardi Gras. Des grands patates pour le Mardi Gras. Des grands patates pour le Mardi Gras.
Everyone smells like whiskey because they just got initiated. I'm already a little drunk. Trusty pole. I put that in. This event couldn't happen without that pole, I think. Break down this outfit for me here.
You want to be silly, and you also want to try to make fun of people who are supposed to be more important to you. So you'll see people dressed like the president. You see people dressed like the Pope. I'm supposed to be somebody who has a lot of authority.
It feels like it. It feels like you got it here, at least on today.
Yeah, did you get an ass whipping yet today?
No, put me through my face. Put me through my... Oh, God damn. Oh, God!
I started a grassroots queer social group in Lafayette. We really have a strong emphasis on Cajun culture. This is probably the most inclusive event in the whole area. I want to embrace my culture, but I want my culture to also embrace me.
So I keep seeing people going like this.
They're begging for the chicken, they're begging for ingredients.
Go! Come on, let's go, Mardi Gras! No, Mardi Gras! No!
Holy shit. Think about black eye tomorrow. Another beer in, I won't even think about it, you know?
Somebody has some ice.
A lot of people, whenever they see the outfit, they think that it's racist because immediately they think of the KKK because they have the pointy hats. The hat originates from the fact that the nobility in France wore these hats. And so as the Mardi Gras, what we do is we want to make fun of the people that have everything because we don't have that much. And that's okay because we're happy without it.
Got up in the woods somewhere. I sprint my heart out. It's probably the slowest sprint you've ever seen in your life, but I'm going in the woods. I'm getting that shit. This is how you get bit by something. Or poison ivy or something. Maybe this way. You do what you can. You try your hardest sometimes, and it just doesn't happen. You travel all the way down to Louisiana. You train. You talk to people, you stretch it out, you have it, you touch it, and it's just gone, and sometimes you just gotta think it's the thrill of the chase, you know? You were riding on a horse earlier, right?
I was, yeah.
Did you use that whip today?
This would not be fun to get hit with.
Yeah. Now, part of the reason we came to this run specifically is because we heard about the inclusivity of this run. How does it feel to be a person of color here?
I mean, it feels good. I know a lot of the guys that put on this run and knowing what their morals are, and I never at any point in time feel unwelcome at anything that they're doing.
Do you feel like Mardi Gras brings communities together, or do you feel like it separates people at times?
It definitely brings people together. I also see how sometimes it can separate people. Being open to diversity and inclusion is one thing, but then like taking the action to make sure that it happens at your event, it takes real work.
Want to get some gumbo?
I would love to get some.
Let's get some gumbo. It gave me a lot of hope.
For what?
The future, the South and Mardi Gras. I think I came down here to see if what I hope the South can be is really here, you know, or if I made it up in my head, if it was just me and my friends that had the kind of thinking or empathy for their fellow man, the kind of forward, you know, inclusion, and to come down here and see a cool event like this.
Everything we've been talking about, that actually does happen here.
Yeah. History is happening 2 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, and we're rewriting that history a little bit. I mean, keeping the traditions that are right and important, but also making our own and saying this is what we want out of it going forward.
We're adapting our culture to fit the modern world.
There's an aspect to this too. I left. I have a lot of love for the South, but I left.
Sometimes it's a lot easier to see when you leave.
I think coming to something like this it just gives me a lot of hope, you know?
You got hope in the South. There is hope in the South, man. I swear the South is the best place in the world.
I'm feeling it. The welcoming people, that Southern hospitality, and we're pushing forward. Coming back next year, I'm not telling anybody it's me. No cameras, full anonymous.
At the end of the day, you'll surprise me.
It'll be right here.
Like, who the fuck are you?
At the end of the day, I'm gonna get somebody to get a phone. We're gonna sit down. I'm gonna take that mask off and go, what the fuck?
It'd be awesome, and I hope you do.
If you enjoyed this, you'll be glad to know that in 2025, we're getting back to our roots with a new set of classic Vice documentaries and the return of Vice magazine. With our newly launched membership, you can watch the latest films by Vice before anyone else and get 4 print issues every year delivered to your door. The money we raise will go straight back into making more great stuff for our members. Our first new film is airing now and sees Vice host Zach Shucklin go in search of the infamous Route 36, the world's only known cocaine bar, hiding high somewhere in the Bolivian mountains. Zach learns about the rich history of coca in the region, asks the Yatiri healer to divine his fortune, and meets a local dealer selling $2 wraps of coke before finding out whether Route 36 really is the drug tourism destination of travelers' dreams. Find out everything you need to know by heading to vice.com/membership.